We've sold like over 25 lakh jars. In the next 5 to 10 years, I think India will start getting known internationally for quality brand. I think for me the big jump happened when in 2015 we got a contract to supply it to the Oberoi group of hotels. And I think the food na taste acha hona chahiye, right? Yeah, so I call myself an accidental entrepreneur. I used to be a French teacher before I started this business, and I never really thought that I would actually be running a food brand one day. It was a passion turned into business for me, I think. I just started with a Facebook page in 2012 and it just took off from there. I think for me the big jump happened when in 2015 we got a contract to supply it to the Oberoi group of hotels. I tell you, it took me 1 year of back and forth meetings and negotiation to actually get that, maintaining quality and consistency are challenging, and for me at that time it was, because especially we were working with fresh produce. Now strawberries are seasonal. You buy strawberries in season, you prep them, you freeze them. So I don't outsource it because we make everything in-house, and we monitor the final parameters, and once we know that okay, if the final parameters are fine, then we know that we have a consistent product. It should not be very okay, bahut zyada, too runny, too solid, all of that. So as long as there's a little bit of room for wiggle. There's been a shift towards natural organic products, right? People, I think, all over the world, not just globally, even in India, everybody is becoming aware of ingredients and what they put into their bodies, and this clean label is becoming like a phenomenon everywhere, right? Of course, internationally, there's a lot more awareness, and also I think veganism, vegetarianism, all of that is increasing a lot, especially in the Western world, and people are shifting towards natural plant-based food. So I think in India also post-COVID, everybody's become much more conscious of their health and what they're putting into their bodies, and people are questioning the ingredients, that are in their product. And I think that shift has been very good for a lot of Indian brands, because I feel now you have international quality brands in India, in every category, with the potential to actually go global. In the next 5 to 10 years, I think India will start getting known internationally for quality brands. I think it's not just for the rich. I think so when you say artisanal, if you're talking about something which is completely handmade, right, that will be expensive, because obviously there'll be a lot of labor that goes into it, and that will that you cannot scale up also to a huge level, right? I would like to extract the word artisanal into natural and preservative free and a healthier, better for you option basically. I think that is not just for the rich, that's for everybody, right? And I feel that as people are earning more, I think Indians, like the young India today, has a lot of disposable income, and it's only increasing, I think. And as they start earning more, you start trading up, and you aspire to eat better, to be healthier, fitter, whatever, everything. The market for my kind of brand in the nascent stages still. And I think it's just growing. I think India is nowhere close to being a mature market for these kind of products. This time, for my kind of products, it's only increasing. If you look at the sauces and spreads and condiments market overall, it is of course over $1 billion. We've had this packaging since we launched in retail. Initially, everybody used to think it's an international brand, and I think people have loved this transparent packaging. And the reason it looks very premium, it looks artisanal and modern and everything, and people use it a lot for gifting as well. So we've been doing gifting also for the past 8-10 years, and part of lots and lots and lots of gift hampers across the country. Challenging, of course, and when you don't meet certain goals, it is like you feel frustrated, and I think there are days like that every month, that you feel like, what is happening and what am I really doing? So we have 36 products at the Gourmet Jar right now, and across like 5 different categories. So we are doing jams and preserves, we have dips and spreads, we have salad dressing and sauces and honey. Of course, I started with only jams and preserves way back. Very quickly, when I had to scale up the business, realized that there's a limited amount of jams and preserves that Indians consume, and it's, because too much sugar and all of that, and people are moving away from it. So that's when I kind of added savory categories, and I think for us, the savories has really, really picked up. And now, like, especially we launched pasta and pizza sauce in April 2020, just when COVID had happened, and that really, really took off. And now I think savory is like 60 to 70% of our product portfolio. We want to be an omnichannel brand, we are an omnichannel brand. I think for any F&B brand, it is important to be omnichannel. You cannot be an only offline or an only online brand now. And of course, is there. It's a good thing also. The number of condiment brands that came up in 2020-21, when the COVID period was going on. I mean, of course, we saw in general a lot of new F&B brands pop up at that time. But I think that, again, like I said, starting something and then scaling it up, they're two different things, right? It again depends on your objectives as a brand, right? If you want to be a purely consumer brand, and if you only want to connect with the direct customer, then maybe there's no need for a B2B. But I think for me as a brand, I would want my consumer to have a connection with our brand, not only when they're shopping for it, right? Even when they're going out to say a restaurant or a cafe, or they're in a hotel, I would want them to have that connection there as well. And I think for us, B2B is very important, because one, I think, it kind of helps you use your capacity when you're younger, and B2B, yes, it's more competitive, the margins are lower, but at the same time it's like a consistent supply of orders that you keep getting, and it's kind of there's lesser marketing to do, right? Once you get the account, then you're not spending consistently on marketing. Well, it's just a relationship thing. That I think, I mean, that's the thing. Online has just become a discounting game, right? And everybody, consumers will be comparing multiple apps, right? They'll check on Blinkit or Swiggy or Amazon or and they'll, or your website, and they'll compare where they're getting the best deal. So your distributor margin and your retailer, I mean your platform margins plus your discounting plus your shipping costs and everything, it's like probably like 10-15% is what you can estimate to make. So honestly, it depends on which store, but it could be anything from 10 to 20 lakhs, right, to get into one chain. So for example, like a Nature's Basket, right, who have like say 38 to 40 stores, and generally they would ask for 5,000 rupee per SKU per store. So I mean, it all depends on how many SKUs, how many stores you want to be in. Sampling, I think, for a food product is very important. Ultimately, food products, it's the taste that sells, right? And I think for us, that's what really worked in the beginning, because we were available in stores and we did sampling year after year, and people tasted and the product. And when you're doing something which is different, right, from the run of the mill, so you need to make the consumer taste the product. And in our case, like, the conversion is very high when people taste the product, right? Because once you taste it, you know why it is what it is. Next 6 months are, of course, festive season is upon us, so we're just planning for Diwali and Rakhi and gifting and all of that. So since we do a lot of gifting, so the next 4-5 months are going to be super busy until Christmas, I would say, with gifting orders and bulk orders and all of that, which is a very good thing for us. I think pricing is it's a matter of two factors, right? One is your cost, which, of course, being a natural product, your ingredients are much more expensive. Your cost of finished product is much higher. And second is, of course, the market price, like what the average price point of your competitors is in a way. And I think for us, we are not a very like a super premium brand. We are like not unaffordable. At the same time, we are not a mass brand, right? So we are definitely 60 to 70% more expensive than a mass brand in our categories. For example, if you take the pasta sauce, right? So we'll be maybe 70%, 80% more expensive than say Ariba or Fun Foods or Cremica or those. And but at the same time, if you compare us to international brands, right, imported brands, if you compare us to a Ragu or Barilla, we are going to be cheaper than those, right? So we are kind of, that's the position that I want to be in the middle. Like, I want to be not unaffordable, slightly under imported brands, and over the mass Indian brands that way. We've sold like over 25 lakh jars. We're looking to grow about 40% over last year, this year, 40 to 50% growth. That's what we're looking at.